Very good. Namaste. Namaste. We are on Facebook Live. And so now I want to first welcome everybody. 'Tis the season of light. And actually, on our Cosmic Center Spiritual Light website, you're going to see very clearly in our calendar all the amazing things that we're going to do because yes, it's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, okay, it's Yule, it's Kwanzaa. Why this time of the year? And it's just interesting that many spiritual paths have come into merging towards this part of the year. There's a higher reason and level for that. And it has to do with the equinoxes and the solstices, okay, which is known as the celestial cross. It's known as the celestial cross that looks like this. And the celestial cross is when, and there's a whole scientific reason for it, which I'm not going to go into. But of course, you've had from the beginning of time, all cultures from around the world recognize that, hey, spring and summer and fall and autumn, summer, that this impacts our ability to live on the planet, how the sun angles. So from the beginning of time, there was the consciousness and awareness that these were very special times in the cosmos, where the planets and celestial bodies aligned themselves in a certain way. And guess what? We're part of that. No matter what, okay, what's going on up there affects us here, but also what a lot of people don't realize, what we do over here affects up there too, because there is this grand entanglement. But what's really special about this time of year, and it can be on the extreme polarities, and let me explain that for a moment. So when this special alignment comes in, it impacts the higher celestial worlds. And just like how there might be more sun that comes in during the summer, not as much sun in the winter, okay, same thing you could say energetically in the higher worlds. There's just certain portals of time, if you will, that more light or more energies of a specific kind can hit our planet. This is where the season of light, which I always call the season of light, has been so powerful, where there have been wars, okay, wars, you could read about this, both sides would stop. Okay, the warring, like, okay, we're going to stop shooting each other now, okay, and take a moment, okay, for peace because of this light. There's stories about it. You could Google it, you could read about it. World War II, I think World War I, and wherever wars that were going on, they actually stopped for this. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to really hold a vision of light and peace and balance on the planet. It really is. Why? Because people are thinking about goodwill to humanity, and I want to give gifts. And it is so this consciousness of humanity is now kind of focusing on a certain way. Is it a commercialization? Of course there is, but we're not going to fall into all of that. We're going to go back into the real understanding as to why are all these cultures merging together around this particular time. And that is because the higher celestial realms of light literally have more light. Remember the star, the Bethlehem star? There's literally more light in the higher heavens with this particular energetic field that we can work with. Now, that same energetic field, okay, which is why we want to hold it up, it could also do the other end of the polarity, where people can be depressed. There's most suicides take place. All this other stuff is happening. Why is that? It's because it is the intensity of this light. And that is why it is important that no matter the circumstances that you are in, because of its intensity, you want to be on the centropy or on the higher level of it. You want to be tapped into your higher intuition and not get caught up with the lower frequencies. Because of the intensity, it could flip this way or that way. We wanted to flip it to the centropy, to be lifted up with love, no matter the circumstances. And I just want to bring a situation out there to be aware and to use your intuition as to what is good and positive and loving and caring, and what is not that. don't be a part of it. This is not the time to get involved in politics. This is not the time to go into the drama. This is not the time for that. Why? Yes, there are times that we are going to have to engage in that, but right now, because of the intensity of frequency that's on the planet right now. And that's why we literally want to be joyful. We want to be peaceful. We want to be happy. And you know what? If you really put the intention, I don't care what's going on in your life. I was just trying to be scammed just an hour ago. Okay. I took an hour and a half out of my day because a scammer that was that good, or it almost got me into a situation where it would have been really bad. I mean, that's how good it is. And then something didn't feel right. It didn't I don't feel good about this now. I'm starting not to feel good about it. And sure enough, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to call you back. And I hung up and I disconnected my computer. I can tell you this came through PayPal. It's so sophisticated now that if you don't know or haven't aware, if you don't trust your feelings, you'll be taking literally to the laundry. That's why we need to be on the centropy, getting into the energies that's going to pull us up. How do that happen? Hey, do a meditation, say a prayer, do something good for somebody. Just say, oh my gosh, I don't have enough money and your life is so hard and I just can't have money. And I know, well, that's a real reality for a lot of people. Been there, done that, still there. Okay. But just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take some money and give it to somebody else. I only have $1, but here's 50 cents. Here's half of what I have. The blessings that will come is profound. There used to be a guy by the name of Emmett Fox. Emmett Fox was part of that whole New Thought movement that was in the 20th century. And that's the time of, that was unity, and that was that whole New Thought going on. And one of the things, and I did that, is that he talked about the seed money, that if you believe and just say, I don't have money, but I'm going to give some money, I'm going to share my money, money will come back to you. I did that experiment and it works. It works. To remember, as you give, you will receive. So these are just tools right now in this season of light, okay, is to be mindful as what can you do to, one, promote the light, be the light, experience the light no matter your circumstances. And this is the time to be grateful. How do you get out of the doldrums? How do you get out of being depressed? Are there things out there? Of course there is. Are there times that we just feel like, I don't know if I can make it? Of course there is. But you don't stay there. And how can you get out? Say, listen, this evokes memories. I remember my family time. They're no longer here. Whatever the reasons are, where it's that block that may make you sad or make you feel that, oh, everybody is family and they got friends and I have no one. You don't know what's going on in other people's lives. You really don't know what's going on behind that veil. You don't know, but everybody, first, don't compare yourself to anyone else. That's number one, because everybody's on their own personal path. Number two is that know that no matter how you perceive things to be, I don't care how bad it is, it could be worse. So you always want to have a grateful heart. And when you have that grateful heart, whenever somebody says, I'm depressed or I don't feel good, and listen, I've gotten communications from people who said they feel suicidal. All right. I tell them this, you start counting your blessings right now. Right now. You just start on a piece of paper and count your blessings. And as you start to count your blessings, you're going to say, oh, yeah, and this and this and this, and it gets you out of that energetic. Because just remember, this is an intensity is taken on this time, so extremes can happen. We're already in a period of extremes, not only in our country, but in the world. So you just have to be smart how to navigate through this world. You just have to sharpen your intuitive skills. And how do you do that? You do your spiritual path, however and whatever is for you, whether you're reflective, whether it is spiritual study, whether it's learning to use the breath, whatever that may be for you, whether it's watching something uplifting on TV, whether it's being part of a group, okay, whichever and however that is, that's what keeps you moving on the centipede, pulling you up, being kind, higher heart of compassion, helping others, knowing that you are a marvelous creation of the divine, that you hold the image of the divine. And many of us are not awakened to that. We think that we have no power. We have all the power. That's the biggest thing out there in the multiverse. Everybody else knows that except us. And I always use this as an example. The little baby elephant that's trained with the little rope around its leg, and it's just being held to a little stake, and it grows into this majestic magnificent powerful beast, and it's still programmed that it has no power, it can't move. Okay, we now have to wake up as a humanity, and we have to wake up other people. We have to start coming from fifth dimensional consciousness and awareness and looking down at this level of where we are and understanding the better picture and moving now in that direction. So I would say start counting your blessings. Give, this is the season of giving, and that everything is going to be blessed beyond measure for all of us as we move forward in the world. So with that, I'm going to say namaste to our Facebook family of light. And if anybody is interested in being a part of the Anchoring Light transmission meditation, just look for it on our Facebook page, or you could go on our website, which is ccosl.com for Cosmic Center Spiritual Light.com, and just sign up on the calendars, and voila, you can get into the Anchoring Light, which we do on Zoom and in person every week for over 15 years. Never, ever missed an Anchoring Life for over 15 years. Oh. So with that, we'll say namaste, family of light on Facebook. See you next time.